Our top story tonight, a plane falling out of the Savannah sky last night and right into someone's front yard, killing the pilot and leaving another passenger injured. The Cessna plane went down on East 66th Street around 9:45 last night. That is where we find WSAV's Nikaya Harris. She joins us with the latest from investigators. Nikaya, good evening.
That's right, Ben. It was the Cessna built in 1964. So we're looking at a 60-year-old craft registered in Miami, Florida. So about 2 hours ago, that plane was cleared from this house right behind me. This is where the plane crashed last night. And I'll say about an hour ago, this whole road was cleared. Earlier today, there was crime scene tape and barricades. Now it's clear, so if you're looking to travel East 66th Street, you're now good to go. Now we're going to show you some video from last night so you can get a clear picture of what this scene looks like. Today, the National Transportation Safety Board arrived a little after noon to investigate the scene. The Federal Aviation Administration were on scene also today. The International Association of Firefighters said the crash happened around 9:45 p.m. near Habersham and East 66th Streets. They say crews worked quickly to free the pilot and passenger trapped inside of the aircraft. NTSB tells us they will be available for comment later on today. We weren't able to speak with them, but they said they will be able to have a comment for us. We're looking forward to that. Now we have Christine Quayle. She's been here all morning, all afternoon, speaking with the neighbors. You've told me some, jaw-dropping stories from these neighbors. So what can you tell us about what they've been saying?
Yeah, absolutely, Nikaya. So up and down this block here, people say they heard this crash when it happened, and they're actually still in shock about this tragedy, that something could happen at this house behind me, the plane falling right into this yard here, just a couple feet from the house. And they say that they all ran, a lot of them ran out and tried to help when this first happened. But while we're told no one lives inside this house here, there are people who live here all along the street in these houses, and they heard and saw everything from that plane hitting the tree, falling to the ground. So we're going to hear from some of them now.
Sounded like a big thunder boom. It was just this really loud, kind of shook the house.
I was asleep and I heard something that sounded like fingernails on a blackboard, only 1,000 times louder.
Many neighbors describing a deafening sound, then nothing. That was just before 10 o'clock Sunday night.
Dave went running. He was one of the first people that made it to the plane and saw that there were people at that point that were alive in the plane.
These two people were a pilot and a passenger in this small plane when it crashed into a front yard. The pilot did not survive. The passenger is being treated for his injuries. Some neighbors told me they were surprised to see any survivors at all, though, because what was left of the plane was completely crushed. Still, many say they're thankful it wasn't worse.
The lady across the street, who were the first ones here, were so glad it didn't explode.
We were very amazed and happy that, of course, it didn't hit a house, it didn't hit a power line, no one else was injured.
The fact that there was no fire is what caught neighbors' attention, though, leading them to wonder what really happened.
Made you assume that possibly the plane was out of fuel, because when it did crash, you didn't hear you just heard nothing but the crash. So the assumption was the plane wasn't operating when it crashed, but who knows?
And many also wondering where exactly this plane was trying to land when it began to crash. With 3 viable options here in the vicinity: Hunter Army Airfield only 4 miles by car, and then Savannah Hilton Head International Airport, and even Fort Stewart only within a couple of miles. So the National Transportation Safety Administration still conducting their investigation, and we'll be sure to get answers to those questions as well as any other ones that may come up in the interim. Reporting in Savannah, Christine Quayle, WSAV News 3, on your side.
Christine, thank you. To stay up to date on that investigation, you can go to our website anytime, wsav.com/plane.